What's going on, y'all? It's the Kid J Nolan here. As y'all know, I talk about music, entertainment, and cultural topics on this channel. So we're gonna get into some cultural commentary today. There's a viral video that's going around of this man. Doesn't seem to be a young man, you know what I mean? He's got some salt and pepper in his beard, so he's been around a while, a little seasoned, you feel me? But it looks like he's at a dinner table at a restaurant. He just got stood up by the lady that was supposed to be there having a nice meal, a bite to eat, and a drink with him. We don't know if she's a black woman or what her race is. So we can't throw racial politics on this at this moment. You know what I'm saying? All we can really talk about is he's a black man. He's sitting at the dinner table. He's venting on TikTok, talking about his experience. And while he's talking about what happened, he starts to choke up a little bit, gets a little misty eyed. And now the video is circling all around social media. People are, giving their opinions on it. Some people think it's weak. There's also people saying that y'all like to talk about there's no safe spaces for black men. He comes out and, gives his heart and soul, and he's actually a genuine spirit. Now he's being criticized. There's people out here that are talking about women, using this as an opportunity to shit on the ladies. I think I've got a few different angles that I want to approach this from, but the first thing I want to do is actually play the video for those of y'all that haven't seen it, or just give y'all a quick refresher on what's going on in the video before I actually share my opinions. Okay, let's get into it.
So I just left the restaurant after waiting 30 minutes for a date to show up, and apparently I got stood up. I don't know what to say. Like, I'm trying to do everything right to be a gentleman. I brought flowers. I've been consistent talking with this girl for 2 weeks, trying to get to know what she likes, what she doesn't like. I made plans. I picked the restaurant, the day, and the time. I've done everything to be just the kind of guy that would value somebody's time. Like, I'm just looking for my person. I'm just looking for the one that I guess is out there for me. I mean, I want to be somebody's husband someday, father. I'm trying to do everything that's right. I just get stood up. Like my feelings didn't even matter. Sitting there eating a meal by myself and realizing that nobody even cares about people anymore. Like alien dating shouldn't even be this hard. It shouldn't be this hard to find somebody. It shouldn't be this difficult to fall in love, to be kind to one another. Like, what, ladies, tell me, what did I do wrong?
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, fam. I don't think you did anything wrong. I think you did everything that was needed, everything that was necessary. And this is why some people out there, especially men, they'd rather take the approach of being the bad boy, quote unquote, being the roughneck nigga, being the nigga that's nonchalant, not giving a fuck, because they seem to get better results that way. A lot of niggas that live that lifestyle, they had some heartbreaking moments in their youth. They decided at a very young age that they'll never get taken advantage of, they'll never get played like that again. You've made it this far. You've done the right things. You need to stay in that lane. He said he spoke to her for 2 weeks, got to know her. I'm probably willing to guess that he hasn't approached her on any sexual avenues, you know what I'm saying? Hasn't like taken it too far, been very respectful, been very tasteful in how he spoke to her, took some inventory on the types of things that she likes, made sure that that was taken into account when he chose the restaurant, brought flowers, did the whole nine. But unfortunately, one of the elements in life is you can do everything right on paper and still not get your desired result, right? There's no way that you can control that. There's no way that you can dictate that into 100% accuracy, 100% success rate. It's just the way life goes. I don't know how many times you've possibly been stood up in your life on these types of dates, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you I've been there before. I never cried about it, but everybody internalizes things differently, right? Unfortunately, it just seems like it's not exactly a fact of life, but definitely a frequent observation that certain women out here, depending on who it is that you're chasing after, they not really into the articulate guys, right? Like, they'll entertain you, they'll talk to you, you know what I'm saying? They'll give you a little bit of attention, but they'll stand you up like you got stood up when the more exciting, more exhilarating experience comes into the fold. When the guy that's kind of pressing up on her in a little bit more of a spicy way, it's like, oh, let me go see what that is. I got this other thing scheduled with this guy, but shit, he ain't gonna trip. He don't mind. He's understanding. He's already showed himself to be very understanding. So if I reschedule with him, no call, no show, I hit him up 2 weeks from now, he'll probably still take me out again. Stand on your square. delete her motherfucking number, delete her from your app, wherever y'all met, because clearly y'all hadn't met before. Y'all probably met on an app. Go ahead and delete her message thread, block her ass if you have to. Don't open that door again. Don't let nobody try you twice. As it pertains to him choking up and getting a little bit emotional, I can't say that I blame him. To be honest, a lot of people don't want to acknowledge this, but every reaction that a man has in a situation is an emotional reaction. A lot of us try to say we don't deal in emotions, or I don't got no emotions, I don't feel nothing. You're a motherfucking lie. When you raise your voice in a situation, when you find yourself angry, when you find yourself clenching your jaws, clenching your fists, you're experiencing an emotional reaction. You're trying to suppress it, and it's processing in a different way. Therefore, how it's represented, how it manifests into your life, or how you manifest it into your actions is different. But that does not mean you're not dealing with emotions. Anger is an emotion, right? Rage is an emotion. So if you screaming, or if you cussing somebody out, or if you call your homeboy and complain about this shit, and you down this girl and call her all types of bitches and hoes because you mad, that's also emotion, my guy. Y'all just processed it differently. On his end, he took it more delicately. He took it more personal, perhaps, to be like, cry, feeling distraught, feeling like, damn, is there really somebody out there for me? We all feel these things at times, but again, we process it differently, and it comes out in different types of personalities differently. I don't know any other way that I could possibly say that to make y'all understand it, but to make fun of this dude, that's kind of instinctual, you know what I mean? Like, especially coming from the neighborhoods and the communities that we come from, when we see somebody that's identified as soft, our instinct is, oh, look at him. He's a weak ass dude. We gonna make fun of him. I'm not really in that boat no more. Like, I'm gonna be honest, seeing him start to choke up, seeing him start to cry, I did have like a little bit of, damn man, why you got to cry? Don't do that, right? That was honestly something within me that said that. However, that's not his fault. That's how I perceive that shit, or how the next person perceives it is not his fault. He's processing his emotions. That's how he felt in that moment, and he was okay. He was all right to honor it. Now, the big thing here is, how many times have you put yourself out there in this fashion? I think at a certain point, you'll start to kind of get a little bit tougher skin, a little bit thicker skin, to where you're not taking it as harsh, right? Where you're not internalizing it on a deeper level than it needs to be. Because she didn't show up, she actually did you a motherfucking favor, because had she shown up, she might not have been the person that you thought she was. She might have presented as a very sweet woman, right? But she might have got there and been texting the whole fucking time, laughing at jokes with her friends, taking slick pictures of you and shit, taking video of you saying how corny you are in the group text, and you not even know nothing about it, and you thinking y'all vibing. She did you a favor. You didn't have to spend no money on her food that night. I don't know what your pockets or your credit or anything like that is. And I'm not saying that you didn't have the money to pay for it. Clearly you did, because you went there. However, you saved yourself probably anywhere between $50 to $100 on her meal. Take that as a win. Go treat yourself to something nice. Take yourself out. And there is no shame in sitting there enjoying a meal by yourself. That is something you said, I'm sitting here eating by myself. There's actually no shame in that. You should actually take yourself to the nicest restaurant that you could possibly find and treat yourself to a great meal by yourself at a table. Don't do takeout. Sit at that motherfucking table. Enjoy your time out, just like you would have done for her. As humans, sometimes we get so wrapped up in needing other people around, especially those of the opposite sex, right? We feel like dates or being out doing nice things is something that's reserved strictly for somebody else. When y'all enjoying it together, those things are nice. But never, ever, ever neglect yourself. If it's something that you want to do, somewhere you want to go, something you want to experience, and you have no one else to go with, do not deprive yourself of that. Take your ass over there, enjoy it, get the smell of the area, take in the lay of the land. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy your meal. You might actually meet somebody while you're out there, right? If you're being open to the situation, if you're not being too closed off, which I know can easily fall into that, like we be reserved, more so on alert. But if you rest your shoulders, let life come at you as it may, you know what I'm saying? Breathe, keep your breathing intact. Again, you might meet somebody dope. It could be a soulmate. It could be a new friend. Might not even be a woman. It might be a guy. You might meet a new homie that you could go to the game with. And then your new homie might be able to introduce you to somebody that's more par for the course of the lane that you're in, right? Like, all things don't have to be taken from a negative perspective. Of course, in that moment, you feel how you feel. But as a man, as a black man, I understand where you're coming from, and I just want to speak life into the situation right now. I will say, you only gonna get so many passes on that crying shit, at your age. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you got salt and pepper in your beard and your hair. You know what I mean? I would think you've been around the block a few times, but you do seem like a very buttoned up type of guy, which I totally understand and can relate with, right? I'm not the most street edgy nigga. I rap, so there is a little bit of elements of that. I do come from a rough neighborhood, so I did internalize some of that shit, but there's a lot of programming that I've allowed myself to not intake, right? Seems like you're on that same wavelength, so you're looking at it like, I did the right things. I showed up. I delivered on what I said. I didn't lie to you. I was not disingenuous. I was not dishonest. How is it that I still get the short end of the stick? And the only reason that is because she wasn't the one for you, my G. It's okay. Take it in. You know what I'm saying? Get another drink if you got to. Really, you ain't got to mask your problems in no drinks. I'm just saying that's what people do casually. Goddamn, get you a takeout order. Heat that bitch up for lunch tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? Get you some rest. And ultimately, you know what I'm saying? Just work on your confidence. That's something that nobody can put in you or take away from you. You have to be willing to give it away or take it, right? Work on your confidence, build that up, build that self love, that self esteem up. Fuck that motherfucking girl, man. For real, for real. Also, next time around, feel free to hit one of your peoples up. Somebody that understands, somebody that been through it, you know what I mean? Talk to a therapist about it. Social media, this is not really the safest place to have those moments, right? Because there's so many people that's gonna be in the comments ready to tear you down, ready to joke about you, ready to laugh at your pain, laugh at your experience. And although, yeah, you might want to be open and honest about it, it's not the safest place to put your heart on the line because it can harden you and make you a rougher person when that's really not your nature. It may change your perspective, right? You might start subconsciously taking on different types of roles in the future just because it's like, damn, I guess I can't really be who I am no more. No, be your motherfucking self. And if a woman don't want to be with you, that's on her. If a woman get with you and decide she don't like you no more, don't love you no more, don't want to be with you no more, you too soft, you too boring, you too this, too that, it's okay. Continue to do you. You'll find somebody else that fucks with you. I promise you will, bro. You don't got to worry about this shit. You ain't got to cry about this shit, but it's okay to let it out. Let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the post notification bell for all updates. I did not want to linger on this for too long, right? I don't have a guest here with me, so we can't expound upon all of this other stuff. We can't pontificate. I'm going to just keep it straight to the point, keep it real, and keep it honest. Again, let me know what y'all think. Be sure to like and share this video, man. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace!